but I know that Sarah is creating a very heart-centered community, and a lot of people here are working from their heart space, from the love, and there's a deep desire to serve and to support and to better our societies. So today I'll be helping you to understand how to activate your heart through the chakra system and also to understand the chakra system in general. So a couple of my challenges. I'll start with that to get the heart out of the way. I've also been very overwhelmed. I feel like I don't know. I think it's a energetic thing, but I'm sensing a lot of people going through an overwhelm, and I feel like a lot of things are bubbling up and coming to the surface, and a lot of activity and shifting is happening. So I've been going through that. I'm studying at the moment. I'm finishing my studies in Ayurveda. I've also got my previous counseling grad set that's finishing up. So there's a lot of movement, and I'm also planning a little wedding. And so it's a little one for that reason, very compact, very intimate, but it's just so much of my own patterns around my sense of perfectionism and my expectations on myself and what I should be doing and what I am doing. I am working through that, and that's where the overwhelm is coming. And then also sustaining and growing a business, being able to manage the operations and the growth. There's so many moving parts. So I am trying to be as grounded as possible. And I'll share some of those insights today as well around how the chakra system helps you to understand your priorities during times of stress and overwhelm, which is a very common situation at any part of the business journey, because as you keep leveling up, you don't just stay in one place, you keep growing. And with every growth, you have the new challenges. And so there is the imposter syndrome or the overthinking or the overwhelm does start to come again and again. And I was telling my partner that it's not about not having doubt or not having stress or not having overwhelm. It's about how to keep getting better at managing it. And so today I'm going to give you some insights around that, because we just get better. The challenges don't stop, the problems don't stop coming, but we just get better at managing it and knowing how to keep centered and aligned, which is one of the key topics of today, to start to understand that. And a win is I am getting through each day in one piece. Woohoo! In one piece. I had a little argument with my partner, but that's about it. But we made up. So it's like, okay, we had the problem, but we got through it, and we keep going. So that's my win, and I feel like I'm chipping away at everything a little bit at a time, and I am trying to keep track of the progress rather than just the end outcome, so I don't feel that sense of overwhelm, and I try to celebrate my achievements as well, however little they may be. So that's a little bit about me. So any sort of, I could see a lot of nodding heads. I feel like there's a lot of resonance there. So I think that's a really great place to start. So, Sarah, what I just wanted to check very quickly was, would you like to record this segment for I'm not sure if it's being recorded because it didn't come up as recording.
Yeah, it's recording.
Perfect. Great. So, with that, I'm going to start today's session by doing a quick grounding meditation to help us be in the here and now. When we're listening to a lot of different information, our mind can go into different parts and start to think. So, I just want to guide and support you to be present in the here and now. So, it's just going to be a few minutes. So, when you are ready, please sit comfortably. If possible, plant your feet on the ground and close your eyes. Taking a deep breath in and a slow breath out. Deeply feel this present moment. Feel yourself in the room that you're in, being in this meeting, being in your day, being in this month, being here. Every day we are creating, we are working, we are doing. So give yourself permission to just be in this moment. Notice the sounds around you. Notice the subtle, gentle sensations in your body. The pressure from your seat beneath you, the clothes on your skin, your posture, your breathing. And as you bring your gentle, loving attention to these spaces, take a deep breath in, a big belly breath, and a slow, gentle breath out. Stabilizing and deepening your breath in this moment. Now bring your attention to your feet. Feel the gentle sensations beneath your feet, helping you to connect to Mama Gaia, to Mother Earth. Feel the exchange of energy, the subtle but beautiful exchange of energy happening in that space between you and the planet you are living on, planet Earth. Imagine gentle roots growing from beneath your feet, grounding you into this present moment, into this present life. And Mama Gaia giving you a gentle, loving hug, letting you know that you are deeply cared for, you are nurtured, and you are abundant. Now allow this beautiful grounding energy to travel up your legs, into your calves, into your knees, into your thighs, and into your hips. Taking a deep breath in and a slow breath out, completely relax your legs, allowing for any vegetation or tension to dissolve immediately. Allow this beautiful energy now to come to the base of your spine. This is where your root chakra is located. Notice your posture, adjust it if needed, allowing for the lengthening of your spine from the base of your spine with a comfortable hip tilt to support this space. Notice any stress, tension, or pain in that space, and breathe in love, light, and healing to that space, and breathe out any of the tension. As your root chakra balances and aligns in this moment, bring this beautiful energy now to your sacral chakra, located in your navel area. We hold a lot of emotional tension there, which can show up as gut health issues or bloating. Allow your belly muscles to fully relax. Taking a deep belly breath in and a slow breath out. Releasing any heavy emotional residual energy now. Continue to bring this beautiful energy up into your solar plexus, which is located just below your rib cage. This is the seat of your soul and also the first part of your digestion, your stomach, your second brain. Notice any disbalances, any thoughts, any beliefs, and any ideas that are no longer serving you. And give yourself permission to dissolve these instantly now. A lot of our energy gets stuck there. Allow that energy to flow up, breathing in love and light to those areas, and breathing out any tension and residual thoughts that are no longer serving you. Now we come to the heart space. As your bottom 3 chakras start to align and the energy comes up, shooting into your heart space, take this moment now to turn your loving nature inwards. All day we are doing and giving to others. Take this moment now to give to yourself. Give yourself love. Give yourself appreciation. And give yourself gratitude for working so hard and doing all the things that you are doing in this moment. Allow the love to pulsate through your heart and expand. First to yourself and then into the universe. Sending a strong and clear signal that your love is active and you are here. Now continue this beautiful energy up into your throat chakra, the space where you are able to communicate your truth. Notice any tension, any resistance, and curiously and compassionately investigate what might be the cause. You may know it already. The universe will continue to bring you similar or same situations to help you learn the lesson you need to learn. So if you have any regrets around, I should have said that, why didn't I say that? Don't worry, you will get another chance. Take this moment now to really understand the lesson and implement it for the next time. As we begin to balance our throat chakra by honoring our voice, now continue this beautiful energy up into your third eye, located between your brows in the center of your forehead. This is your sixth sense, your intuition, your ability to see into the future for who you are and what you are here to do. Imagine a gateway opening and your truth of who you are and what you are here to do to channel through this space, and for you to see a projection of your future higher self in almost like a movie theater. See them, know them, and know that you will be that in the near future with absolute certainty. And finally, as you sustain this beautiful vision with the love in your heart, come up into the top of your head, your crown chakra, your zone of genius, the space where you are able to connect with the cosmic consciousness and higher powers that are here to guide and support you on your mission in this lifetime. Allow that energy to shoot up into the universe, opening that channel and allowing a two-way street to open where you are giving and receiving all that you need to be successful in your life and in your business. Your chakras are now fully aligned. Feel the gentle buzzing sensation of alignment, clarity, light, and purity running through from the base of your spine to the top of your head, connecting you to this beautiful planet and to the stars. And as you really anchor this sensation, this moment, make a note to come back to these sensations when times are tough, when the day is overwhelming, to anchor yourself in this way, in yourself, in your existence, and in your truth. And with this, start to gently move your hands and feet to bring sensation back into your body. Taking another deep breath in and a slow breath out. You may gently open your eyes. Thank you so much for giving me the honor of guiding you through that meditation. I do a lot of my meditations intuitively based on the energy and the needs of the people around me. So that was very special to you. And I hope you got something out of that, some clarity and truth. And I want to say that chakras can be aligned like this on a daily basis. What happens with chakras is we align and then we go into a situation or a circumstance which disaligns us or um, pulls us apart, and we can consciously come back. Thank you, Lisa. um, we can consciously keep coming back to the to aligning ourselves through visualization and some of these meditations energetically, and then embodying some of that energy. So I'll talk about that a little bit more in just a moment. So what I will do now is I've got some slides to share, Sarah, so I'll just share my screen. um, Bear with me as bye. All right, bear with me. Oh, okay, I need to send a request. Wonderful. Okay, so let's do this. Sarah, please let me know if you can see my screen. Perfect. And it's a good size and you can hear me properly? Yeah, perfect. Great. So today, the masterclass is about understanding how to be and become an aligned entrepreneur. And it's a very important topic in today's society because we are becoming more and more aware of our mission, our purpose, and we're needing more aligned entrepreneurs to be able to really fulfill and achieve these missions and visions. So, I want to really empower you today with the knowledge that you can take away and start to understand and implement straight away to help you to feel more aligned on a day to day basis. So, when you become an aligned entrepreneur, you can have business success, you can have life success. And the way I'm going to guide you on how to understand alignment is through the chakra system. So, let's begin. Now, the first question I want to open up is, what is an aligned entrepreneur? So, for those in the chat, if you can just describe one or two words, or you can go off mute and share, what is an aligned entrepreneur in your understanding? Mm. So Sarah says someone that can use their intuition to support business growth. Amazing. That's great. Any other insights into when people say aligned or aligned entrepreneur or aligned person? What does that mean for you? Mm. Another one, connected to self. Yes. Very, very close. Amazing. So I will share my perspective on this. Oh, hang on. An aligned entrepreneur is a conscious entrepreneur. Now, another key buzzword in the spiritual space, aligned conscious. They can be a little bit broad, and I'm going to break that through to you to understand what they mean more practically through the chakra system. But it's a conscious entrepreneur. And the question is, what is a conscious entrepreneur? A conscious entrepreneur, they are self aware. They are aware of who they are and what they are doing. So it's moving from that state of automatic and reactive to being in a more response state, and to be able to really evaluate yourself and go, why did I do that and how can I improve that? So an aspect of a conscious entrepreneur is also the ability to learn and learn efficiently. So there are two aspects to a conscious entrepreneur. The first is understanding the mind. Now, we often create in our mind, we ideate in our mind, but it's about understanding how the mind is a very crucial part in self awareness, is understanding what's happening in here. And the next is to understand our body and to understand what's happening in here, because the mind helps us to connect to our higher self, as we saw in the chakra meditation, but the body helps us to remain grounded in our existence in this lifetime. So we need both to be able to fully understand, to be fully conscious and self aware. So, the aligned entrepreneur is someone who has a really good mind body connection that is synchronized and balanced. So, one is not overpowering the other. And the more we're able to understand and balance this, the more we are able to become aligned and conscious. So, how do we begin to improve the mind body connection? I want to talk about a few elements of what is the mind and what is the body to help you to start understanding what it means for you. So, the mind is software. Yeah. Imagine we're in a technology era and we have our phones, and the mind is the software on our phones. And how often do we keep delaying the software update? We go update later, because we're doing something, we're needing to do something, send that email, see that video, respond to that message, that we delay updating the software. And then eventually there's a bit of a crash. The phone stops working. There are lots of bugs in our software that slow us down from getting where we want to be. So eventually we are forced to upgrade our software. So the idea here is to understand how to upgrade your software in time so that you continue to have efficiency. And from a human perspective, that is understanding our vision with absolute clarity and detail, specificity, to be able to understand how our mind works and operates and what are the components in our mind, because it's not just our thoughts, it's also how our mind affects our body, and how certain thoughts and ideas can create a somatic effect. So it's very holistic, it's very broad. And then to be able to also understand our thoughts and also our perspective, our ability to understand a particular situation and how we interpret that situation as well. All of these things come in the broadly mind category or your software. And the next is upgrading or understanding your hardware. So, when we're able to understand our hardware, that is our body, very much the physical. This is like biotechnology. If we can understand it, we're moving in a technology space where it's not just like machine and mechanic, it's actually biomechanics. It's very advanced technology. We're very lucky to have something like this with us to help us to create everything that we are creating on this planet. So, some of the key components of our hardware are things like our habits, our time, and our ability to manage our time, having a consistent routine on a day to day basis, because the real work happens on a day to day basis. And then being able to understand our needs, like what do we need to service our body? So it's very similar to servicing a car, like we service it every year or whatever, every 10,000 kilometers. The oil needs changing, this part needs changing, this part needs upgrade, this part needs to change every 10 years. We need those things as well. And so, once we're able to, on a high level, understand our mind and body, to be able to start to synchronize these, then we start to really tap into success. We really start to tap into alignment and becoming more conscious, because one or the other or both is stuck in some form of automatic response. Unfortunately, that's been role modeled to us by our primary caregivers and also in other environments like school and peers. There's a reinforcement of certain behaviors that get itched into our mind, and they are so ingrained that we struggle to break free from those patterns. So it's really about being conscious of those patterns and then starting to shift them towards the version of you that you want to show up as in your vision and in your third eye. So we've talked about the mind and body connection. Now, let's talk about how that all comes together in the chakra system, because there's a lot of personal development out there. And for me, I did years and years of personal development, but this is my personal experience, and let me know what you guys think. But it felt patchy. It felt like a little bit of here and a little bit of here and a little bit of here. And I felt like I couldn't really bring it all together to really understand everything that I needed to do in a simplistic and holistic way to start really understanding my priorities and start achieving them. Because I felt the overwhelm of decision making and the doing. So it's like first deciding, should I do that or not? Should I do affirmations or not? Should I do journaling or not? And then actually doing it, because there's this huge decision fatigue that takes place when there's so much options. And who here has information overload? Who here has had so many options? Exactly. So most of us, especially with social media and technology coming, there's too many options. So most of our energy is in the solar plexus area trying to decide and fighting with our old beliefs and our old identity, just with the fear going, shouldn't I, should I? And a lot of energy gets zapped up there, and we struggle to actually embody and implement a lot of those things. So what I'm here to do is to help you understand how to systematically and holistically understand how to upgrade both your software and your hardware in the exact order of priority so you can start to become your best self. And that is what the chakra system does. It helps you to systematize without constraining you to do exactly what you need to do, because it gives you enough wriggle room to be able to customize this framework to your needs. And that's where self awareness and consciousness really starts to flourish. So, chakras. There are seven chakras, and I will go through each of the seven chakras now. So, before I do that, I want to define what a chakra is. A chakra loosely translates to, it's a Sanskrit term that loosely translates to wheels. So, it's wheels or swirls of moving energy within our existence. And chakras are like air. We breathe it, but we don't see the air, but it deeply affects us. And the chakra system is like that. The chakras deeply affect us all the time, whether we believe it or want to understand or see it. But I'm here to shed light on the importance of chakra systems because you have a chakra system for those who are in this masterclass, and for those who are going to watch the afterplay. You also have a chakra system. Your kids have a chakra system. Your partner has a chakra system, and your business also has a chakra system. And your business chakra system in the beginning stages, before it actually develops into its own consciousness, and remember, we've defined consciousness as being self-awareness. It's heavily dependent on your chakra system because it's like your baby. It's like a child. It's deeply affected by your nervous system and can be affected by your nervous system. So we're going to talk about how to balance your chakras, and you will then that will translate and move forward and flow into balancing your chakra system for your business as well, which is quite fantastic. So two birds with one stone. So going through the chakra system, the first chakra is the root chakra. This is located at the base of your spine, and the color is red. Now, the colors here, just FYI, isn't rainbow to make it look pretty. There's actually function behind it because we move from the lowest frequency to the highest frequency, from that human, more dense elements to the higher frequencies of energy and soul. So it'll make more sense as I go through this, but first I'm going to name the names and the colors of each chakra system. The next is your sacral chakra, which is orange, and it's located in your navel area. The next is solar plexus, which is located in your upper stomach, and the color is yellow. Then it's your heart space in the center in your chest, and it can be green and pink. The next is throat chakra, which is blue, and it's located in your throat, but there's also some minor ones located in your ear, and your hearing and your speaking are actually connected because it's the space for your communication. Oh, wrong way. Then the next is your third eye, which is located here in the center of your forehead between your eyebrows. And it's the space known for your intuition and also your vision. That's an eye, it sees into the energetic layer of your existence that is connecting you to your higher self. And then we have the crown chakra, which is at the top of our head, just like a crown. We are all kings and queens in that sense because we all have a crown. We all are the, how can I say this? We are all special in the sense that we are all children of the source and the creator. And the creator created us with a crown to know that we are very unique, we are very much loved, and we are very special in our unique abilities and a purpose that we are here to actually support humanity in. So, with the seven chakras being defined and named, now we'll move into understanding where each of the chakra systems sit. So the bottom three chakras sit in our human existence. So this is where your nervous system regulation happens. Most of the nervous system regulation happens in the emotions, but it's connected to your solar plexus and your root as well. And then the top is your higher self. So this is your soul, this is your self-actualization. It's really understanding your purpose, your mission, and being able to bring that energy down. And of course, the heart is the connecting point. It's your quantum realm. For those who are into that personal development space, it's where creation actually happens because the energy comes from the top and the energy comes from the bottom, and magic happens in the heart space and it's created. That is why I really emphasize on the heart energy activation, because that's where creation happens. So if you're having the vision but you're not being able to create it, something from the bottom three chakra needs to be addressed to bring some of those into your reality and start to manifest. So to break the human side more, there are three things. There's the physical, there's the emotional, and there's the mental. All three need to work in synchronicity and in harmony to be able to have a good human existence. And when one or more of these are disbalanced, we feel it. There's overwhelm, there is doubt, there's anxiety, or there's depression. There's a few of those elements that are quite common in today's society. It's because these three elements are out of sync and out of balance. And that nervous system regulation that you mentioned, Sarah, this is where it happens. It's in the bottom three chakras, predominantly in the emotional part, but also the emotions affect our mind and our body. Things are all connected. So once we start to balance these three things, our nervous system balances and we're able to feel calm and cool even if there's challenges outside. I always like to say that the boat doesn't sink whilst the water is outside. It only sinks when the water comes inside the boat. So it's about knowing that the water, which is the challenge, the stress, the problem, will always be there and almost touching the boat all the time. But it's not, it's about not allowing it to come and plugging those leak points in these bottom three chakras to help us to feel really strong, to be able to weather the sea and all the uncertainty that comes with exploring new terrains. So then the next, our top three chakras is our spiritual side, and all three are relevant. And I'll go through in the next slide what the components are, but they connect us to our higher self, all three of them, and they're very important in being able to have more and more clarity around our purpose, and to be able to then manifest it through the heart space. So, loosely translating, the bottom three is the body, loosely. You know, it's not black and white thinking with chakras, but just to help you to start anchoring this knowledge into practical implementations. The bottom three is the human body, and the top is our mind. And that mind body connection starts to make more sense that we spoke about. So, in the mind, we have three things there. The throat chakra is our communication, not just our ability to speak, but also hear, because that is both are very important in order for us to be an excellent communicator, something that we need in order to have a successful business and to serve our clients properly. Then the third eye is where your vision sits. It's where your understanding and clarity of what you are here to create in the future sits, whether that is 6 months out, 1 year out, 10 years out. The time frame doesn't matter. It's just having more clarity and understanding of the future that you are here to create. And the final is your zone of genius. So this is what you are really good at. And something, unfortunately, that some of our education systems don't fully understand or support, we try to box everyone into one space. And I'm actually finishing my studies in counseling, specifically specializing in school well-being, because I'm very passionate about empowering young people to be able to understand their zone of genius from a really young age. And something that unfortunately some of our generation didn't really get to experience, but you can. There's never too late to really zoom in and understand your zone of genius and what you are really good at. And it's not just one thing, it's many things, and you bring it all together into a beautiful thing like a business and bring your unique signature services and offers to the world. So, this is where it all activates. So, with that, just explanation, quick explanation. Are there any questions in from anyone who is in the masterclass right now? I'm seeing head shake, so no. All right, so I will continue. So I'll quickly share a little bit about me so you get an idea. Okay, this woman is just talking about chakras. Who is she and what makes her qualified to actually talk about this? So I can talk about it from my human and my spiritual sense. My mind and my body. So, I am a chakra balancing and alignment practitioner, and also a heart energy activation expert. I have a bunch of qualifications to be able to support the practical tools and implementations of the chakra system, which I can go into a little bit, but I'll share a little bit about my journey and how I got there, my own personal journey of transformation. I was in a life and in a job before this, ex-corporate, IT background, really high-paying job, on track to being a director. I had everything going on for me, but deep down, I was really unhappy and I was deeply unfulfilled. And I felt like that life wasn't my own. And everyone around me was just following this particular path and continued to guide me, so to speak. And so I remained stuck in those cycles and in those pathways that weren't meant for me. But when I decided to leave that, I was so so spent from pleasing others and to doing things for others and getting people's validation and approval. I was so desperate for love, so to speak, that I did everything and I was everything for everyone. And that resulted in a big burnout. It was one of the most excruciating periods of my life. I was very sick, I was very unwell. I was in the shit, as I like to explain it. and sleeping upwards of to 16 hours, unable to eat food. My digestion was completely out of whack, and I was in the emergency a few times, and my partner took me in the middle of the night many times to the hospital because I was so unwell. And I was at this point and this choice point whether I was going to live or die. Like this was going to either consume me or I was going to do something about it and to change everything. So about a year into this health crisis, I made the choice to live because I was feeling suicidal. I was losing my will to live. I was wondering, what is the point of me being here if I can't even take care of myself? What help am I going to give to someone else? Deep imposter syndrome, deep self-esteem issues were just surfacing up. And I decided I was going to do this. I don't know what was going to happen. And that decision point activated my root chakra because I started to peel down everything that I was doing to the basics. I was on antidepressants, I was on sleep medication, I was on ADHD medication, I was a walking pharmacy basically. Um, and I said no to everything. And I started from the basics. I started to just drink water. I said, okay, the food is not digesting properly. I just started to eat fruits really light and really, really simple, basic everything. And I saw my root chakra get activated in my third eye. My third eye is one of my key strengths. I'm able to have visions for myself and others and support people intuitively. That's where it all comes from. And my third eye got activated for the first time, and I saw my root chakra. At that time, I didn't know about the chakra system, weirdly enough, but I saw the red. And then the energy started to flow up. And I didn't know what was happening. I was hearing a lot of buzzing in my ears, like beep, beep, and I thought I had tinnitus, I think. And so I went to the doctors and they're like, everything is fine. I'm like, what's going on? And then I went to Mind Body Spirit Festival 3 months later. So this was all happening in January. And I unconsciously looked at a book and it was a beautiful rainbow and it said chakras. I'm like, what's chakras? So I started to read that book, and just then I started studying my coaching studies as well. And I started to read that book, and I'm like, oh my God, this is actually happening to me. And the colors were perfectly in sync with what I was seeing in my third eye. And I was like, oh, my chakras are aligning. And this was the first time. Imagine I'm from India, never heard of chakra system. You guys know more about the chakra system than I did at that time, even though I have Indian heritage. It's crazy. I was shocked. And I was like, why have I not been empowered with this knowledge? Like, I needed this so long ago. And as I went deeper and deeper into the chakra system, I started to see the knowledge there with my qualifications. So, I am an ICF certified coach of the highest standard that is possible as a beginner coach, as a PCC certified. And I also have finished my studies in counseling, or about to. And I'm continuing my studies in Ayurveda to really cement my chakra understanding. But as I'm learning, I can practice those skills with my current and future clients. So I really started to see the benefit and the empowerment that comes from understanding the chakras. And as I started to implement some of that knowledge, I was determined to empower others to understand the chakra system as well, so that they can start to reap the benefits like I did. And a year and a bit later, I think a year and a half later, I've completely stabilized my chakra system and know how to continue to manage it when the stress comes so I don't allow the water to come into the boat. That's basically it. So that's a little bit about me and my journey with chakras. So I have the qualifications and the personal experience to really guide you to practically implement the system for you in your life. So what can you start to do to become an aligned entrepreneur? This is where the juicy stuff happens, where the steps are taken. And today, just for the sake of simplicity, because I understand the power in it, I'm just going to share one or two things that you can start to do. And they may or may not work for you, But there is also some support that I can provide for you additionally outside of this so that you can start to get more personalized help. And I'll go into that in a little bit of after some explanation. So let's start from the root chakra, which is where the energy starts. The energy doesn't go from top to bottom, which is what humanity has taught us. It goes from bottom to top. So the priority is very clear. We have to start at the root chakra. And when there's overwhelm and uncertainty and doubt, it's usually indicative that it's not in the mind, it's in the body. Something in the body is asking for our attention through the bottom three chakras, needing us to understand and honor it and then release it so that we can keep flowing. So, the root chakra is our body. And one of the first things you can start to do is list down your most primal and simple needs and fulfill them properly. Like a key one is drinking enough water. I know when I get busy, I don't drink enough water. I know it. And so my bottle is here right now, and I keep it in front of me, reminding myself to drink more water. Especially the more stress I get, the more basic I get, because that's when you start to not allow the water to come in. And then the next thing is not just understanding your needs, but slowing down self care. Because we rush through the self care, whether it's stress or excitement, to go do something in our business. It's like brush the teeth quickly, have the breakfast, so sit down on the computer to work. I am guilty of that all the time. So it's when you do these two things just a little bit, it's not very slow, but it's just like mindful. It's just picking this up, and just doing that rather than trying to plan for what you're going to do next as you're doing that. Being really present in fulfilling that need and slowing down. And that will help keep your root chakra balanced. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, come back to the root and notice what needs are not being met and how can I slow those down, those specific ones down for that week or 2 weeks to ground myself. So the next is your sacral chakra, which is your emotions. Now, we have been conditioned to label emotions as good and bad, which in turn affects our ability to see ourselves as good girl, good boy, bad boy. But it's nothing like that. All emotions are a signal and a message. So it's about feeling all your emotions and actually acknowledging them, naming them, so that you identify, you see your emotions, because the biggest problem is we suppress it. We go, oh my God, I'm feeling fear, I'm feeling anxiety. Suppress and just smile and pretend like you are fine. Do not do that. Maybe do that. Maybe you need to do it socially for a moment, but don't do that to yourself. Make some alone time for yourself to acknowledge, okay, what was happening in that situation? Oh, it was anxiety. And then the next thing is to understand the message behind the anxiety. And I stop and go, anxiety, what are you trying to tell me? Have a conversation with your emotions. And usually the anxiety will go, you haven't eaten lunch. It's something very simple like that. Oh, okay. Because if we don't process that, we start to think, oh, it must be because I interacted with that person and that person that said that. And we try to make the solution out there when we have unprocessed emotion. And we start to build these associations and create this like web of thoughts that actually are usually not the truth. It's something more simple inside you that is needing to be heard, understood, and cared for. Then the next is your solar plexus, which is all around your inner voice, how you talk to yourself and the inner dialogues that you have. Because we are so good to others, but when it comes to ourselves, we're hard. And usually the inner voice mimics a teacher or a caregiver that was really hard on us and told us that we were not good enough. And so we continue those patterns of self talk with ourselves that beat us down and keep us small. And even though we may look superficially confident, if we're not able to fix the inner voice and the internal dialogue within us, then the real shift can't start to take place. And that authenticity can't come until we start to talk to ourselves the way we talk to others and to our clients, really shifting that inner voice. And then the next is the heart space, such an important space for all the conscious uh, entrepreneurs in Sarah's world. I really love everyone that she's introduced me to. Thank you for creating such a heart centered space, such an important space to be in. And so I really want to equip you today with a very simple but important knowledge, which is we give, we take all this love and give to others. And I have a theory that we came from higher vibrational planets and dimensions where there was love all around. And so we gave love, we got love. But here on planet Earth, things are a little bit different. And so it's important to turn some of that love inwards and to know where some of that self preservation comes from in those bottom three chakras, but also through our sense of love for ourselves and turning some of that inwards and not feeling guilty or selfish about loving yourself. So that comes truly from having compassion for yourself. Things like it's not perfect, but allowing it to not be perfect and being okay with it because we're in a really dense form as humans in this space, in this 3D space. Things are harder, things are slower. It's nothing to do with us, it's just the nature of where we are living. But the progress is happening, the change is coming, and you are shifting. So knowing and being able to recognize the little wins and having more compassion for yourself through that process of shifting and transitioning to becoming your higher self and turning some of that love inwards and saying no to things so that you can focus on self preservation. Very important. And so that really connects with the throat, which is being able to speak your truth that I need me time. And I'm sorry, but I would love to help you. And I get into a lot of these dynamics with my partner because I'm like, do, 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 and I'll be demanding his attention. But I tell him, tell me if you can't fulfill it because sometimes I get stuck in my own thing and I need you to say no. And so we're working on that dynamic of him being like, because he's such a giver, he'll just give to me and then feel depleted afterwards. And that pattern helped me to understand how I or other entrepreneurs work as well, where we just give, 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 struggle to say no, and then feel like crap afterwards. So say no early and speak your truth. So speak your truth first and then try to improve the delivery. Don't get stuck in, I need to deliver this truth perfectly and in a nice way. If you get angry, get angry, It's okay. But you're expressing your truth and then it's about improving the delivery. And that's the process of really balancing your throat chakra. And then the next, which is your third eye, is connecting to your vision every day. Every day, because this world is full of distractions and we get caught and go into deep rabbit holes of creating or socializing and implementing, and that we forget, like, wait, what am I implementing this for? Like having your North Star really clearly outlined and going deeper and deeper into the specificity and the detail of that. Don't just go, I want a big house. Think about exactly what you want in the big house. 4 bedrooms. I'm just giving an example for the sake of understanding. 4 bedrooms by the sea with one balcony looking over the ocean. Be specific. Exactly the life you want because I do a lot of work with clients and I ask them, what is your big picture vision or your dream? And they have, I want a loving relationship. I want a house. I want my purpose. And it's so broad that the universe doesn't know what to give you because there's no specificity, especially on that realism, like what it would actually look like in your reality, starting to get to those points because then the universe goes, okay, by the beach, in this beach, in this, okay, I can start to help you. So specificity and connecting to it every single day as a mantra, as a ritual. And last but not the least, the crown chakra. A lot of our blockage happens and a lot of us have most likely transitioned from an old career to a new at later stages of our lives. And so that zone of genius is being activated, but it's like, why am I not there yet? And that's a huge block. Like, why am I not where I need to be? Like, I should have done this yesterday. I'm behind, and you're just feeling anxious. But one of the best ways to balance and align your crown chakra is to embrace the beginner's mindset and to know that you're a baby, and when you grow, you will grow exponentially. or in the early stages. I'm saying baby because I'm in the baby stages, but that might not be the same case for those watching this. But it's being able to embrace the beginner's mindset for anything. Like you have a business, maybe you're doing digital marketing for the first time, right? And you're moving into a new territory or domain in your business. You're activating a new part of your crown chakra and your zone of genius, and it's about having a beginner's mindset. So that happens when you're open to learning and making mistakes. So when you do these things, your chakra can remain aligned. Besides the guided meditation that I shared early on, you can listen to that. It's like 5-10 minutes. You can listen to that to visually align, energetically align, but then to maintain it, right? So you don't get pulled apart in different directions. These are some things that you can start to do. But what I've shared is just scratching the surface. Every person has unique needs. So this is what I've seen generally from all the people I've worked with that I feel will help you and support you to start managing and maintaining your chakras so that they are balanced and aligned. So that's a little bit about the chakras and what you can start to do. Now, you can start to see how this can translate into your business as well. So, your business can have a root chakra, which is the business needs. When you're able to understand your needs, you can understand the business needs. And then you can start to fulfill that as well because you're fulfilling your needs. Or the third eye, which is vision for yourself. I want this life, I want this body, I want this relationship. You can start to have a vision for your business as well. I want to go here, I want to do this, I want to help this, I want to expand here, right? Or the heart space, a very important heart space. When you have compassion for yourself, you have compassion for the mistakes. So, like, I recently onboarded someone and it was my first time doing a payment plan. So, I had compassion for my business and I said, hey, you are my first payment plan. So, I just letting you know that this is new and please bear with me if I make mistakes. So, just future pacing myself to make space for my business rather than trying to be perfect and then beating myself up because it's not and I've made a mistake. It's making compassionate space for your business as well and really embracing the journey you and your business are on. And eventually, your baby, when they hit 18 for human years, but whenever that is for your business, it will develop its own consciousness and it will live on, which is our legacy. So even when we die and we move on, that our legacy continues to live with its own consciousness and its needs being met by us and the future generation that we are going to hand this to. So that's just a little bit of insight into chakras for you and your business. So I've I've talked on a lot today, but I just wanted to quickly check in to see what people are thinking. If there's any questions or anything that was like a wow for you, like that I didn't think about, like one or two things that I didn't think about or know about that you're being able to take away from today's masterclass. Anything there? Yeah. Sarah says, I love learning the way to become aligned, and the examples are brilliant. Thank you. I tried to make it as practical as possible. These are day to day things, and really, the chakra alignment happens on a daily basis, and for me, many times a day. I take morning and evening to actually sit down. I have a guided meditation for for myself that I listen to keep balancing my chakras as I expand because the energy travels up through our chakras, and if we're not keeping aligned, it can scatter us and pull us apart. So it's coming back to your center, feeling that sense of alignment and working from that space. Yes, it can be easy to forget. Exactly. Because we go so deep into these rabbit holes, it's just being able to step back, see the big picture, then zoom in again into those specifics. Done. Actually, after this, I'm going to share a one pager of the chakra system that I have personally created to help you understand the chakras and the things that you can start to do to balance and align. And yeah, that will really support you in this space. You can print it out and pop it. So, ooh, the next thing and the final thing, just to start wrapping everything up, as I've mentioned, I've talked a lot about the chakras and some of the key examples, but what I'm here to do, this is my purpose and my mission in life, is to empower people with chakra knowledge so they can really start to understand how to align and balance their chakras. Because what these amazing services that Sarah has on this platform, right? If we go to these services like going to a chiropractor or a massage therapist, but we come back to the same environment, we'll keep getting misaligned and we create a dependency on these external factors rather than enjoying it. Because, I remember I was having like massages twice a week. Like I had the resources for it, but it was doing nothing. Like I was feeling this like anxiety, lack of sleep, and I wasn't being able to manage myself. And I was depending heavily on others to do that for me. So there is a great way to network, to connect with other service providers and get additional support. But the first support is you for yourself. So this is about empowering you to start with yourself and being informed, going to the massage, going, oh man, my solar plexus has really got me this week because I've been overthinking. I'm going to go for a massage so I release some of that tension. It's very conscious. It's not like, I don't know what's wrong with me, so I'm going to go and get 3 massages. Maybe that will solve my problems. Like, we want to stop that where you come really informed with every place that you go to. So, to help with that, I invite you to come for a free 45-minute Find My Blocks and Chakra Alignment Pathway consultation. It's free. I ask a few questions in the pre consultation questionnaire, and then we go through your chakras, and I give you very specific and personalized feedback around where your chakra blockages are, those leaks in your ship, and what you can start to do to plug in because you're paddling, but the ship might be sinking slowly and you need to get to your destination. So let's get to your vision, which is your destination, plug in those holes and start. And in that consultation, if you feel called to do deeper work with me, we can also discuss and share some options around what I do through my company, which I didn't mention at all on purpose, but my company is called Glowing Lotus Holistic Healing, and I provide chakra balancing and alignment so that you can feel empowered to be conscious and be informed in everything that you are doing from here onwards. So the programs really empower you with tools to help you build the life that you want very concisely, because there's a lot of information. So, what I've done is all the years of experience and trials and errors, I found some of the key principles and tools that you can start to use to create the life of your dream really, really quickly, which is about being grounded, aligned, and not allowing the water to come in as you go into your direction. So that's that. And I invite you to come to this consultation. I will provide a link in the replay space. So you can actually just click that and come through to the consultation. And otherwise, also please follow me on socials, Instagram or Facebook at Glowing Lotus Healing, where I am going to and continue to provide insights about chakra and general personal development, manifestation, health tips. It's touching on all the different chakras, so you can start to understand. Wrong. That was a little excited typo. You can start to feel the empowerment of those micro informations that you can start to implement as you watch them. So it's a really practical space to motivate, but also give you tools to start implementing little things on a day-to-day basis. So those are the 2 CTAs. I am really excited to be here. Thank you, Sarah, for making the space and time for me today. And I'm excited to serve as many people from your beautiful heart-centered community as possible. Really excited. So thank you for that. And with that, I thank everyone. Namaste. And it's been an honor to be here. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you. Lovely. That was amazing. I'm still really sleepy tired from doing the meditation.
Great. Good. It's working.
I'm trying not to nod off, but I'm like, oh my God.
Yes, it's the relaxation. It's that, what I've noticed is a lot of people actually they just don't go there and no one's like guided them to. You're just unlocking like little pieces of awareness, and you're like, oh, just relaxing that part. And it just allows you to go into that parasympathetic nervous system and just relax
Yeah.
to the rest and digest space.
I think
That's
it's
the
also
intention.
the fact that I've been at I went to the chiropractor before as well.
Ah,
Because like
yes.
I've just done all that work then and then come here and it was really interesting. So what where she was working on, it's almost like I can align to the chakras. And
Mm,
there was a lot of cracking that happened on the on like on the lower three chakras too. So
mm,
that in itself it makes sense in where my emotional state has been, the chiropractic experience, and then learning from this. So yeah,
mm.
I love it. I think it's amazing.
Wonderful. No, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to present. I was very excited.
Yes.
No. I was very excited to present, a little nervous, but yeah,
No,
very
you always speak really well.